Political parties begin to roll out campaigns for candidates in the next year's general election, but not all the horses are facing the same direction. In the case of many are called and a few are chosen, Nigerians scrutinize the track records of those on the ballot. Also to be considered are the issues that tease, tantalize, and in some cases threaten the Nigerian project. Those on the podium might posture, ponder, or pander. However, the power to promote the winner ultimately lies in the thumb of the people. In terms of internal party constellations, some parties are having it rougher than others. We will speak with a former presidential aspirant who is watching keenly to see how his party resolves the dance of dragons. This is Political Update on the network service of the NTA. I am Fisayo Gunfui. Welcome. Although the internal wrangling with the People's Democratic Party is yet to be properly settled, the Presidential Campaign Council is going ahead with its plans to officially flag off the process in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State next week. Director General of the Campaign Council, Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, stated this while inspecting facilities at the National Campaign Headquarters of the party.
The Wuse to Abuja headquarters of the Atiku Okowa 2023 campaign organization is already a beehive of activities with various support groups visiting to identify with the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. This inspection of facilities at the National Campaign Office is preparatory to the October 10 presidential campaign flag-off in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. Director General of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council and Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, led other members of the council on a visit. The council promised an issue-based campaign.
And we are going to be marketing our candidate based on the program that we have rolled out, which is generally solution-based. We are not going to go about fishing. Atiku Abubakar is very well prepared to provide the required leadership that this country needs at this time.
On differences among some of the PDP governors buying into the Presidential Campaign Council, Tambuwal says in his capacity as chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, efforts are ongoing to resolve their differences amicably and bring everyone on board. The PDP Presidential Campaign Council sought the collaboration and understanding of Nigerians in the party's efforts towards returning to government at the center.
Meanwhile, the Forum of Elected National Ex Officio members of the PDP has appealed to aggrieved members of the party to sheath their swords and join hands in ensuring victory in the 2023 general elections.
This is a meeting of the Forum of Elected National Ex-Officio members of the People's Democratic Party. They met behind closed doors in the Neck Hall of the PDP National Headquarters, Abuja.
We have been confronted with very disturbing and destabilizing scenarios playing out in our party against the plea of our then presidential candidate, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, that admonished us to be very careful in our utterances, our posturing and body language in presenting to the public the internal issues of our party. The aggravating circumstances being thrown up by conflicting accusation and counter-accusation of who is right and who is wrong, a matter which the Forum of National Ex-Officio feel is not necessary at this electioneering period.
Ilya implored all PDP leaders and members who had one issue or the other to avail themselves of internal differences resolution mechanism as provided for in the party's constitution. Professionals for Atiku is another support group with a plan to deploying the experiences they have acquired over the years towards the victory of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar.
This candidate has been tried and tested in public and private office. And on every occasion, he came out unblemished and in flying colors.
Members resolved to make their campaign issue-based.
Now, as the PDP gets set to roll out its drums of persuasion ahead of the 2023 election, there might still be a few hurdles to cross even within its ranks. Joining us via Zoom is Dr. Nwachukwu Anakwenze, physician, politician, philanthropist, entrepreneur, and most importantly, for our discussion, a former presidential aspirant of the People's Democratic Party during its primary earlier in the year. He joins us from Los Angeles, California. Doctor, nice to have you join us today on Political Update.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Now, after the presidential primary of the PDP, which you took part in, have you been part of any consultation to present a formidable front for the presidential polls next year?
The aspirants have been meeting. My team is involved. My DG and my campaign team are involved. I will be back there when it's time for me to be there. But my team is involved.
Now, let's ask you some direct questions. There have been some objections to the present makeup of the top echelon of the party. Governor Nyesom Wike, for instance, insists on the national chairman from the south. Do you share the same position?
Since the presidency is coming from the north, it only makes sense that the chairmanship should come from the south. Once initially, we all thought South was going to produce the president. That's why it was done to the North. But it didn't turn out that way. So since Atiku turned out to be the presidential candidate, we will support him. But the chairmanship needs to move to the South for the sake of fairness and equity and balance.
Okay, so what would you recommend as a way out of this political foxtrap?
I would recommend that Atiku and his team consult everyone, get everyone involved, work with all the people, North and South, Christian, Muslim, try to bring everybody together in a balanced way that carries everybody along for the good of the country.
Let's go to some of our normal, the different dances in the country. Since the presidential slot has not gone to the southeast like you originally emphasized and clamored for, and your zone still has a name on the ballot, albeit from another party, have you found yourself in some form of political quandary?
Naturally, you have people in different groups. Anybody have right to run for president, whether it's in PDP or APC or Labour Party. I'm not against that. If they're qualified, if they can move our country forward, that's the main thing. My involvement is not about myself. It's about helping our youth, moving the country forward, achieving the potential that we should. Right now is a disgrace. We're shame to the world. God have given us all endowments in terms of food resources, minerals. Other countries don't have. We have rain half of the year. Most of the countries don't have rain. We have iron, gold, silver, copper, diamond, aluminum. Japan have nothing. And they import it from Nigeria. And they build Toyota and they send it to us. What is wrong with us? That's why I'm involved. I'm involved to lift up our people. Particularly our children are very talented. Our young children in America are the top 5% of America. We have the same potential back there. All those young people in Nigeria are very talented. No, there's been no good leadership in Nigeria. That's what's setting us back. Everything going on in Africa, all the foreigners, white people, they want to go to Ghana, they want to go to Kenya, they want to go to South Africa. Everybody's ashamed of us. When they try to bring things to Nigeria, like hospital or university from United Nations, well, Nigerian people are asking them for bribe. I'm trying to put hospital in your village to help your people, you're asking me for bribe. American people, white people will not do it. They are laughing at, we are being laughed at. They're ashamed of us.
All right, let's go to some nitty-gritty. I don't know, I think you danced around my last question. And what I'm saying is that you're a party man. And then, of course, you are also a tribe man because I understand you're also one of the leaders of the Igbo nation in diaspora. Would you be picking party over tribe or tribe over party?
Like I said, anyone that wants to work to improve Nigeria should be allowed to run. I'm a member of PDP. Since Atiku is the chairman of our party, if he's willing to work for all Nigerian tribes and religions, I will be able to work with him.
All right, let's move on
the
finally.
The other party is led by Peter Obi. Peter Obi was the best governor we've ever had in Nigeria. He's excellent. That I can tell you because I'm from Anambra State.
All right, let's go to, lean on your experience, for instance, for someone who built his career abroad and is currently based there. What are the expectations of diasporans about next year's election? Are you promoting the Nigerian project out there?
Yeah, all the Nigerians are very involved because they would like to have a country they can come back to. We don't want to die here in diaspora. We want Nigeria working. We should be at the level of India, Brazil, Indonesia. We should be one of the top 6 countries in the world. We have highly trained Nigerians of every tribe here in America, particularly the Igbos and Yorubas. They can match any white person in the world. But we don't have anywhere to go to display it, to improve it, to build it. It's too much corruption. Nobody cares about the fate of all black people. People are only selfish for themselves. There's too much corruption. The system that is based on you chop and I chop politics. There's no real Mandela there in Nigeria. That's what we want to see, whether we can bring in and change things for the good of all people. The young people are great, and I would like to help them before my time is up.
Dr. Anwachukwana Kwenze, a philanthropist, politician, entrepreneur, etc. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
The All Progressives Congress Governors Forum has assured supporters that there's nothing to worry about as plans are being strengthened to roll out a robust campaign for the 2023 general election. The governors met members of the National Working Committee on the final preparations for APC's presidential campaign.
It is a moment of strategic engagement by stakeholders of the APC ahead of the task before them. This tripartite meeting is coming less than 24 hours after a similar one between the Presidential Campaign Council and the APC governors.
This meeting that we've had is more than useful for all of us. For us, nothing short of victory is good enough for us. And the spirit of today's meeting underlines that fact.
We are very proud of the actions of the National Chairman and the NWC. We are very proud of the actions of the Presidential Campaign Council. We are happy that we are discussing.
After 5 hours of deliberation behind closed doors, no date is fixed yet for the commencement of the party's presidential campaign.
The fact of the matter is, we are the party. As APC, we will determine when we do what, as long as it's within the framework of INEC's guideline.
They agreed that the pre-campaign activities so far are in compliance with the desire for success.
The younger members of the House of Representatives say they are not just in the Green Chamber to make up the number. Honorable Kasimu Bello Megari, representing Jalingo Yorozing Federal Constituency, was here with us earlier, and he says he has done enough to get his people's thumbs up for another opportunity.
Actually, in the past 3 years, we have done a lot in education. We built many schools and we renovated some. The new one we built, I have a comprehensive vocational training center in Model Primary School, Jalingo. We built another secondary school in Lama. We built in Bitako, all in Zin. We are building some in Yoro local government as we speak. We have renovated not less than 20 primary and secondary school across the house of my own constituency. And we have distributed a lot of learning materials. We have been giving scholarship to students. The best in every schools, we have been picking 1 or 2 people among the best students to sponsor them. We have been paying WAEC, NECO, and JAM to less privileged students. So at least we have done a lot in respect of education.
Your state is an agrarian state. People know them for their prowess in agriculture. Are you making some intervention there?
Of course, yes. We are doing a lot in agriculture. We have empowered our constituents. We have given them farming tools. We have been training them on how to go about mechanized farming. And more so, I have a bill creating tuber processing, production, and research institute in Zin local government, Yam and Tuba, in Zin local government to boost the farming in that area. You know, our people generally, they are into yam farming. So by the time we improve the seed, we can have maybe 2 or 3 harvests in a year. It will go a long way in boosting economic and security in that constituency. You are of the younger generation. In terms of youth empowerment, have you been able to do some things to encourage youths from, tendencies that are not particularly lawful to gainful employment? Actually, I can say it. There's none, not only in Jalingo, whereas in the whole state, somebody that can come and say he have employed youth more than I do. I have employed more than 100 in the federal agencies, different parastatals and agencies in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The records are there. We can publish the name, the contact, and address of every individual that I secured appointment for him in the federal government. And in terms of training and safe employment, we have been doing this. In terms of Empower, I don't think there's any constituency in this country that have beneficiaries the way I have in my constituency. The records are there, people can go and check. So our youths have been engaged in self-reliance activities. So there's so many things that I have been doing, I did and have been doing for my younger generations. In what areas would you like to even do more if given the opportunity? Yes, this is a foundation. By the time we come back to the house, we have a lot to do in terms of youth empowerment. You know, all this insecurity, is the genesis of insecurity is unemployment. If you can train people and give them capital to be self-reliant, you will reduce the insecurity we're having in this country. So I will concentrate more on education and self-reliance.
The United States Institute for Peace, in a roundtable on the best approach to free and fair and credible elections in 2023, has advised Nigerian voters to shun political parties and candidates who throw money at them.
The 2023 general election is now a few months away, with different political parties strategizing on how to win the votes of Nigerians. However, there have been concerns about how the umpire, political parties and their candidates, as well as supporters, must conduct themselves before and during the entire electioneering process in order to achieve a free, fair, credible and violence-free 2023 general election.
Of course, as you move towards the elections, there are several concerns in terms of security, in terms of voters, apathy, in terms of arrangements for the conduct of the elections that are coming up. So we thought that it would be very important to bring stakeholders together to discuss this so that they could prepare solutions for the way forward.
At this roundtable, the need to play by the rules and ensure that all campaigns are issue-based, devoid of any form of mudslinging and rancor, was emphasized.
Because once you sell your vote, you are telling the politician that he doesn't have to deliver on any promise they make. So we are also trying to develop strategies to make sure people resist this culture of vote buying.
There was also a message for relevant agencies in the electoral process, particularly law enforcement agencies. Defaulters must not only be arrested, but prosecuted.
And in that vein, proponents of the talking about the agencies to prosecute corruption in elections, talking about the Electoral Offences Commission, are urging the National Assembly to also expedite action on that commission to come on stream on time. And before we go, let's just look at different candidates to, starting and inaugurating campaign councils. It was the turn of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to inaugurate his women campaign council.
To the glory of God.
This campaign office with the acronym SHE, SHE, standing for Security, Health and Education, is courtesy of Titi Atiku Abubakar, the wife of the PDP presidential candidate. The campaign office is to coordinate and evolve workable strategies towards the victory of the Atiku Okowa presidential ticket in the 2023 elections.
The struggle for the next democratic process is not in Abuja. Is in your respective polling units. I want to thank you very much indeed for this beautiful edifice, but it must be accompanied with the results of your polling units.
We look forward to taking this journey with you to get Nigeria back on track through sustainable development opportunities for security, healthcare and education for women, youth and persons with disabilities.
Former Minister of State, Solid Minerals Development, Dr. Becky Ketebo Igwe, is Director General of the Shea campaign.
That concludes our political update for this week. We're back again on Tuesday for another installment of the show. Don't forget that, of course, the political parties are rolling out, and, of course, the Nigerian Television Authority will be there for you. Make sure you also contact us on your candidates, their manifestos, and we'll give you the opportunity to speak to Nigerians, especially on issues on the ballot. My name is Fisao Ogunfi, urging you to play your politics for the greater good and keep on watching the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's finest, best, and largest, for news, reviews, previews and interviews. Bye-bye now.